Hello everybody and welcome to today's Destiny video. So today we're going to be looking at what to use during the Nightfall strike and the weekly as well after I finish going through all the Nightfall stuff. So this week we have got Omnigul, which is a fitting end to the Dark Below expansion. It's a sad week for the Dark Below fans as House of Wolves will be dropping on Tuesday. So we've got a lot to look forward to and a lot to do this week to prepare ourselves for that week. So, as I just said, we've got Omnigul, which means we have Hive and Fallen, and more Fallen than Hive, especially in the starting areas. So, what are the burns? So we've got one burn this week, and that is Arc Burn. And then we've got Lightswitch and Juggler. So Juggler makes things a little bit more complicated than it would otherwise be. But we can combat this. We can combat this pretty well. So I'm going to show you what setup I will be using and what I'll be alternating with. This is mainly stuff that you should already have by now. I think I have one random roller in here. I think that's a rocket launcher. Yeah, my Valedictorian is a random rolled arc one, so I probably won't even be using it. So first things first, it's Arc Burn, which means Fatebringer is going to most likely be your primary. If you haven't got a Fatebringer yet, then Oversold Edict or Fangiver Root will do a decent job at clearing up the mobs. If you haven't got any of these and you've got Vision of Confluence, then this is a ripe pick. Only really for the starting area when there's Shanks, because the Shanks do have solar shields on, so Vision of Confluence does do a good job of that. Also, because, as I just mentioned, there is Shanks, and we're using a full arc build, but Fatebringer can usually get through them if you stay back far enough. Then you can usually beat them into the ground with Fatebringer. So the reason I've got everything else here is there are wizards in this mission, so wizards can usually die pretty easily to all of this stuff in here. This weapon is amazing for wizards, but apart from the fact that it's not solar burn, so they will be wrecking your face because wizards obviously have arc burn attacks, which is a bit of a problem. But Abyss Defiant can usually burn them down reasonably easily, and Shanks. This is a really good weapon for Shanks too. So next we've got, Vision of Confluence. So Vision of Confluence is one that I always used to go back for, specifically for Shanks. I used to use it all the time for Shanks. I wouldn't now, now that I realise that Fatebringer can pretty much take them down quick enough on Omnigul, only because you can retreat pretty much all the way back and just face them one by one, which is what I usually do. Oversold Edict is just a really, really good gun for Arc Burn. It's just a shame the impact is low, but other than that it's full auto and the rate of fire is huge, so it's just basically like an assault rifle, especially with Hive Disruptor, who can do damage to Hive Mages, and projectiles will over-penetrate through Hive walls, which is really good against the Knights, which use arc shields in this. So that's a really, really good Night Buster in a Nightfall. And then Fangiver Root is just if you haven't got anything else. It's a really, really good all-rounder. It's just an arc burn, good gun, really. Just use this if you haven't got a Fatebringer. For my secondary, I will be always using Patience and Time on arc burns, just because it's just so reliable. It's a really, really, really good gun, got a really high rate of fire, good stability. It's just really good for staying back, picking everything off that you need picking off. Also, we have a few other guns here. We've got Plan C, just because it's insane. It's an insane gun for Nightfalls. When there's a big bunch of enemies, like in the first room of Omnigul, there's a bunch of thralls that run at you. This gun will demolish them, like literally demolish them. So you're going to want to use this against them. Next up we've got Icebreaker. Now Icebreaker is only in here for its tool, and that tool is that it can get shots back. So I wouldn't be using the Icebreaker to actually kill anything with. Juggler is on, so when Juggler is on, usually you can just sit back and you'll regain your ammo if you wait long enough. Now when Juggler is on, that will never happen, and Icebreaker's perk, or is it? Oh, it's here. No backpack, cannot be reloaded, regenerates ammo over time, means that you can pretty much get 6 in the magazine, and with patience and time, with Field Scout, it means you can get a decent, I think it's 18, no, I think it's actually 12. I think you can get 12 shots. So you can get 12 shots back when you've got like no ammo. So that's like extremely helpful. We've also got other guns here like Murmur. This is a really good gun for just swapping between the two, just because if you swap to Solar, you can then kill the Shanks, so when the Shank waves come you can kill those, and then just swap back to Arc when you're not against any Shanks. Or Wizards, so the only Solar shields in this are Wizards and Shanks, and Wizards don't really matter as much as Shanks, because at the end you can basically ignore all the Wizards. So also we've got Light of the Abyss, which is also a really, really good gun. It's got an incredible all-around stats, and it's really good from a hit. It's just a really good all-rounder. There's nothing special about it, it's just a really good gun. And then last but not least, we've got Found Verdict, which is always a good arc burn choice if you're up against some close range enemies, like in the starting area. Most likely in the starting area by itself, I'll be switching between Patience and Time, Plan C, and Found Verdict. But apart from that, we've got our heavy. So our heavy, we've got Song of a Root equipped as our main. That is because I don't really have anything more than that. There isn't many arc heavies that I own. The only legendaries are this and Mind Veil Victorian, which is why I've only got those on. Apart from that, if I was using something like Murmur, Light of Abyss, or Found Verdict, I'll probably be using Thunderlord, because Thunderlord is an insane arc burn gun. Also Gallahorn. Now, I know it's not Solar Burn this week, but Gallahorn is still good no matter what the burn. You have to remember that the burns only increase your actual like element damage. It doesn't decrease others. So Gallahorn will still be doing the same damage as it would do without the burn. So it's still a really good gun if you haven't got any of these others. Just be using a Gallahorn if you can be, or a Hunger of Crota if you haven't got a Gallahorn. So that is really it for weapon loadouts for the Nightfall. So let's just skip over to the weekly. So this week's Heroic Strike actually has no burn, it just has Juggler. So the only thing that you need, really, is an Icebreaker, or anything with a lot of ammo. Now, this is what I'm going to be using for the majority of the strike. Maybe not the start. For the start of the strike, I might switch to a Murmur, or a Light of the Abyss. But this is basically what I'll be using no matter what. There's no burn on, so I'm just going to be using my main loadout. So I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful, and if you did, then please like it, comment on it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Guardians.